Newcastle Airport plays a critical role in providing transportation links to both the broader Hunter and the Newcastle regions. We have almost 1.3 million passengers passing through this airport this year, and with a clear trajectory to be almost 2 million by 2030. The terminal expansion has probably been the biggest bite of the cherry we've had in our history. It's the biggest single expansion in one go. And it's because more and more people are recognising the advantage of using Newcastle Airport. So we need to have a facility that enables to keep up with that. And so it's very important that with more and more destinations being available, domestically and internationally, that what we provide is suitable for use. And that's what we've done. So the terminal is essentially concrete, metal and glass, and that's an important part of our growth. But it's no good without the nervous system, and that's our networks. Whether it's Wi-Fi connectivity, flight information display systems, or even the public announcement system, they all rely on robust networks. And so that's key for passenger experience both now and into the future.
The older domestic terminal was a bit of a mix of different vendors, different generations of switches. There was some really old legacy stuff. So this was as close to a greenfield opportunity we were going to get to build a new core network and edge network. We worked with our Atturra account manager, HPE account manager, set up some workshops. We got some equipment to do a proof of concept, and so we could have a play around with the platform before we committed. When the project was ready for the IT equipment to be installed, we had really tight deadlines around when the network needed to be up and running, so as we weren't delaying the next steps of the project. So it was really important for us to have that close working relationship with Atturra and HPE to make sure that we had the equipment when we needed it and that we weren't holding up the rest of the project.
Newcastle Airport approached Atturra needing a new network for their international terminal. Using our solution architects, we were able to come up with a complete solution for them based on their security, their network connectivity speeds, and fully integrate that into a design solution with HPE networking. The Newcastle Airport is somewhat complex. There's high ceilings, for instance. There's network considerations with Wi-Fi speeds and channels that you can use. So there was a fair bit of complexity involved in actually bringing that all together, which our solution architects were able to do. Newcastle Airport had some pretty strong requirements around the actual construction of the international terminal. And so using HPE networking and our distributor, we were able to fit within those timeframes to make sure there wasn't any delays to the actual construction.
There are three things that are really important for a network like Newcastle Airport's. The first is the visibility, to make sure that you have a view of everything that is connected onto the network, be they people or be they IoT devices or anything else. The second thing is the security. So having security at every point around the network, making sure you can control what is allowed to connect and what is not allowed to connect. And the third thing that's important is the resilience and performance to support the requirements of Newcastle Airport right now and into the future.
One of the things that drove us towards HP was the central platform. We operate with a small team here at the airport, so being able to see everything across that single pane of glass is a real advantage to us, and it saves us a lot of time from having to check multiple systems.
So HPE Networking is really proud to be the networking vendor for Newcastle Airport. Our role was to provide a secure AI native network implemented by Atturra for the use of staff, passengers and tenants here at Newcastle Airport.
Atturra has some very strong partnerships with HPE Networking. We have a lot of engineers and solution architects that are very familiar with their products, and using that knowledge we were able to put in a whole design that fit all of those requirements through the use of HPE Networking.
We've been a long-time customer of Atturra. We've always found that from the account manager to the engineers, they've always been super helpful, super reliable. They take the time to understand what we need as a business, and they have that knowledge from working with us so closely.
In a critical project like this, it's really important that the communication and transparency between all the parties is there, and we were particularly happy with how things came together between HPE Networking, Atturra and Newcastle Airport. Communication was fantastic, requirements were clear, and as you can see, the outcome was fantastic. Networks like this are really complex to build, and it's not just about having good hardware and software, We need a partner with capability to do the design correctly in the beginning and then get the deployment absolutely right at the end, and that was the role that Atturra played.
Newcastle Airport came to us with the potential that the network could expand in the future. And so that was taken into account when we designed the solution with HPE networking. Things like the ability to scale edge devices or build out from the core. That was all taken into account with the final design that we put forward and was eventually implemented for the airport.
Airports are evolving environments. You know, the airport we see today in 2026 won't be the same as what we see in 2030, 2040, 2050. Similarly, the role of the network is changing as well. It's not just around connecting passengers anymore or connecting staff. It's around connecting everything inside the organisation. And so the critical role the network plays will just get more important into the future.
When we go to the next level and we expand one more time, and the time after that, those networks need to be able to be adapted and expanded and added to without any disrupt to existing customer experience, and that's what we've got.